Okay, folks, World Cup cocktail time with Tim continues, and today it is Croatia. Yes, this small but mighty nation formed after the fall of Yugoslavia in the early 90s had incredible success in its very first World Cup in 1998 in France. It came in third, and it had the top score in sidecar. Now, 20 years later, it even bested that. In Russia in 2018, they lost to France in the finals 4-2 and had the player of the tournament in Luka Modric. So there's still a lot of that core team that's part of it. A couple retirements, but they're going to have their work cut out for them in the group they're in to get out of the group stage. They've got Belgium, Morocco, and Canada, who won CONCACAF, better than Mexico or the US. So now we're going to make a cocktail that features the national drink of Croatia, and in fact of all the Balkans. So it's rakia, which is a brandy and a fruit brandy, and particularly we're going to make a plum brandy, and this type of plum brandy is called slivovitz. Now, one way that they make slivovitz over in Croatia and all of the Balkans actually, as opposed to the fruit brandies, say the Calvados in France, or the pear brandies, or even the grappas, they don't use any sugar or water when they're making the slivovitz. They literally just use like 60 or 70 pounds of plums, and it macerates and distills into this slivovitz. So it's very plum forward, and the other ones are fruit forward, depending on what they macerated with, but it's also extremely fiery. So I will not be drinking it the way that the Croatians or others in the Balkans do, which is they pour a shot and sip or slam, look each other in the eye, take a sip or slam, and then look everybody in the eye again. But because I find this, like many people do, fiery, I'm gonna make a cocktail based on a classic cocktail. I'm going to sort of bastardize it. It's called a sugar plum sidecar. So for those of you familiar with the sidecar is cognac, a brandy, right? We're going to use Cointreau and lemon juice, right? So that's a classic sidecar. So we're going to start with something very similar. But we're going to start with some hand-cut plums that I am going to muddle in my Boston shaker here. So we're just going to do some quick muddling. Get some of that plum juice out there. Spraying myself here. Okay, now, then we're going to go with 1.5 ounces of the slivovitz in there. Next, we're going to add 3/4 of an ounce of, I'm using the orange curacao, but you can use Cointreau, you can use triple sec. I prefer the Cointreau or the curacao. I think make it a lovelier drink. And then I've already measured 3/4 of an ounce of a fresh squeezed lemon, so I've got that there. And because I'm trying to reduce the impact of the slivovitz, I am going to add a little bit of this wonderful Dolin Blanc. So it's medium sweet. It's not as sweet as the red, but I'm only going to add basically 1/4 ounce of it, just enough to add a little sweetness to it. Okay, now we've got that. Now I'm going to add ice. And I'm going to give this a nice good shake. Now, I would normally shake it a lot more than I'm going to, but I'm making a mess over here. But in the interest of this video time, I'm just going to shake it a little bit. Now, I've already sugared this rim. You get the trend, right? I'm trying to reduce that slivovitz taste. And I'm going to pour this in there. Going to garnish with a little plum, and there you have the sugar plum sidecar. So, na zdrowie to Croatia. Cheers, boys. We'll see how you. Good luck in Qatar. All of us that hail from small places like Delaware, which I'm from, we pull in for the smallest nations to make a big impact over there. So, na zdrowie. Cheers. pretty good.